wonderful English learners. Welcome to Beginner English, the podcast. I'm Emma.
And I'm David. We're so happy you've joined us today for another exciting episode.
David, I'm really excited about today's topic because I know it's something that many of our listeners worry about.
Oh, absolutely, Emma. Today we're talking about one of the most important parts of learning English, pronunciation.
That's right. We're going to share practical tips, fun exercises, and lots of encouragement to help you speak English more clearly and confidently.
And before anyone gets nervous, let me say this. Perfect pronunciation is not the goal. Clear communication is the goal.
Exactly. We want to help you feel more confident when you speak English, whether you're talking to friends, colleagues, or ordering coffee at your favorite cafe.
Now, let me ask our amazing listeners something. How many of you feel nervous about your English pronunciation? Maybe you worry that people won't understand you.
It's completely normal to feel that way. I remember when I was learning Spanish, I was so worried about rolling my R's correctly. But you know what I learned? People are usually very patient and understanding.
That's such a great point, Emma. And here's something interesting. Even native English speakers have different accents and pronunciations. Think about American English, British English, Australian English, and Indian English. They're all correct.
Absolutely. So today, we're not trying to make you sound like a native speaker from any specific country. We're helping you speak clearly so people can understand you easily.
We have so much to share with you today. We'll explain why pronunciation matters, give you practical tips you can use right away, and even do some fun practice exercises together.
Plus, we'll share some vocabulary related to pronunciation, give you motivational advice, and help you create a daily practice routine.
So get comfortable, maybe grab a pen and paper for notes, and let's start this pronunciation journey together.
Are you ready to sound more confident when you speak English? Let's begin.
Okay, Emma, let's start with the big question. Why should our listeners focus on improving their pronunciation?
That's a fantastic question, David. And I want to start by saying that pronunciation is not about sounding perfect. It's about being understood clearly when you communicate.
Exactly. Think about it this way. You might know thousands of English words and perfect grammar, but if people can't understand what you're saying, communication becomes difficult.
That's right. Good pronunciation helps you feel more confident when you speak. When you know you're pronouncing words clearly, you'll want to speak more often.
And here's something really important for our listeners to understand. People judge confidence partly by how clearly someone speaks. Clear pronunciation can help you in job interviews, social situations, and everyday conversations.
But David, I want to address something that worries many learners. Some people think, I have an accent, so my pronunciation is bad. That's not true at all.
Oh, Emma, that's such an important point. Having an accent is completely normal and often beautiful. The goal is not to eliminate your accent. It's to make sure your accent doesn't prevent people from understanding you.
Exactly. Think about famous people who speak English as a second language. They might have accents, but they communicate clearly and effectively.
And here's another benefit of working on pronunciation. It actually helps you understand other people better too. When you know how sounds are made, you can recognize them more easily when others speak.
That's so true. It's like learning to play music. When you understand how to make the sounds yourself, you can hear them better in songs.
Now, let me ask our listeners something. What happens when you mispronounce a word in your native language? Usually, people still understand you from the context, right?
Exactly. And the same thing happens in English. Even if your pronunciation isn't perfect, people can usually understand you from the situation and the other words you use.
But here's why it's still worth improving. Better pronunciation reduces misunderstandings and makes conversations flow more smoothly.
And it gives you confidence. When you know you can pronounce a word correctly, you're more likely to use it in conversation instead of avoiding it.
Plus, working on pronunciation can be really fun. It's like a puzzle. figuring out how to move your mouth and tongue to make new sounds.
I love that comparison. And for our listeners who are still feeling nervous, remember this. Every native English speaker had to learn these sounds too when they were babies. You're just doing it as an adult, which actually gives you some advantages.
What advantages, Emma?
Well, as adults, you can understand explanations about how to make sounds. Babies just have to figure it out by trial and error.
That's brilliant. So listeners, you have the tools to succeed. You just need the right techniques and practice.
And speaking of techniques, David, should we start sharing some practical tips our listeners can use right away?
Absolutely. Let's dive into some fun and effective pronunciation techniques.
All right, everyone. It's time for the practical part. Let's start with our first tip, which is probably the most important one.
What's that, Emma?
Listen carefully to native speakers. This might sound obvious, but many learners don't listen actively enough.
That's so true, Emma. There's a difference between hearing English and really listening to English. When you listen actively, you pay attention to how words sound, not just what they mean.
Exactly. So here's what you can do. Choose a TV show, podcast, or YouTube video in English. Watch or listen to the same 2 to 3 minutes several times, focusing only on pronunciation.
And here's a fun exercise. Try to copy what you hear, even if you don't understand all the words. This helps train your mouth muscles to make English sounds.
That's called shadowing, and it's incredibly effective. You're basically becoming an English sound detective.
Now, let's talk about our second tip, tongue twisters. Emma, do you have a favorite tongue twister?
Oh, I love this one. She sells seashells by the seashore. It's perfect for practicing the SH and S sounds, which many learners find challenging.
That's a classic. And here's why tongue twisters are so helpful. They force you to focus on specific sounds and practice them repeatedly.
But listeners, don't worry if you can't say tongue twisters perfectly at first. Start slow, focus on accuracy, then gradually increase your speed.
Great advice. Another tongue twister I recommend is red lorry, yellow lorry for practicing the R and L sounds.
Oof, that's a tricky one. Now, let's talk about tip number 3, recording yourself and listening back.
This is one of the most powerful techniques, but many learners avoid it because they feel embarrassed hearing their own voice.
I totally understand that feeling. But here's the thing. Recording yourself is like having a personal pronunciation coach available 24/7.
Exactly. Here's how to do it. Record yourself reading a short paragraph in English, then listen back and compare it to a native speaker reading the same text.
And be kind to yourself when you listen. Don't focus on everything that sounds different. Pick 1 or 2 sounds to work on at a time.
Now let's discuss tip number 4, understanding stress, rhythm, and intonation. Emma, can you explain what these mean?
Sure. Word stress means some parts of words are stronger than others. For example, in the word important, we stress the second syllable, im-por-tunt.
And sentence stress means some words in a sentence are more important than others. Usually we stress nouns, main verbs, adjectives, and adverbs.
Rhythm is the musical pattern of English. English has a special rhythm that's different from many other languages.
And intonation is how your voice goes up and down. For example, your voice usually goes up at the end of yes/no questions. Are you coming?
Let's practice this together. Listeners, repeat after me with the correct stress. I'm going to the supermarket to buy some vegetables.
Notice how Emma stressed supermarket and vegetables because they're the most important words for understanding the meaning.
Now, tip number 5, learning phonetic sounds. Don't worry, this sounds scarier than it is.
Phonetic sounds are just the individual sounds that make up English words. For example, the th sound in think is written as f in phonetics.
You don't need to learn all the phonetic symbols, but understanding a few key ones can really help with sounds that don't exist in your native language.
For example, many learners struggle with f like in think and th like in this. The key is putting your tongue between your teeth lightly.
Let's practice. Listeners, put your tongue between your teeth and say, think, think, think. Can you feel the air flowing over your tongue?
Great. Now let's try tip number 6, practicing minimal pairs. Emma, what are minimal pairs?
Minimal pairs are words that sound almost the same but have one different sound, like ship and sheep, or bit and beat.
These are super helpful because they train your ear and mouth to hear and make the difference between similar sounds.
Let's practice some. Listeners, repeat after us. Ship, sheep, ship, sheep. Do you hear the difference?
Ship has a short I sound, and sheep has a long E sound. Try saying both words and feel how your mouth changes.
Another common pair is bit and beat. Bit is short, bit. Beat is long, beat.
Now, tip number 7, using technology. There are amazing apps and AI tools that can help you check your pronunciation.
These tools can listen to you speak and give you immediate feedback. It's like having a pronunciation teacher in your pocket.
And finally, tip number 8, daily practice strategies. Emma, what's the secret to consistent improvement?
The secret is little and often. It's better to practice for 10 minutes every day than for 2 hours once a week.
And make it fun. Practice pronunciation while you're cooking, walking, or even in the shower when no one can hear you.
Listeners, let me ask you, which of these tips sounds most interesting to you? Are you excited to try tongue twisters or maybe record yourself speaking?
Whatever you choose, remember that improvement takes time. Be patient with yourself and celebrate small victories.
Now, let's do some fun practice together with example dialogues.
This is going to be fun, Emma. Let's show our listeners some common pronunciation challenges and how to fix them.
Great idea. Let's start with a dialogue about going shopping. I'll demonstrate some common pronunciation mistakes first, then show the correct way.
Perfect. So, Emma, let's imagine you're asking about prices at a store. Show us the common mistakes first.
Okay, here's how many learners might say it incorrectly. Excuse me, how much is this t-shirt? I think it's very nice.
Now, listeners, did you hear the pronunciation challenges there? Emma said dis instead of this and sink instead of think.
Exactly. Now let me say it correctly. Excuse me, how much is this t-shirt? I think it's very nice.
Beautiful. Now notice how Emma put her tongue between her teeth for this and think. That's the f sound we talked about earlier.
Let's try another one. David, can you show us a common mistake with the R and L sounds?
Sure. Here's a common mistake. I would like to collect my car from the garage, please.
That sounded correct to me, David.
You're right, Emma. Let me show the mistake version. I would like to correct my call from the garage, please.
Ah, now I hear it. You mixed up the R and L sounds. For our listeners, this is a common challenge for speakers of some Asian languages.
The key is to remember, for L, touch your tongue to the roof of your mouth. For R, don't let your tongue touch anything.
Let's practice together. Listeners, say red lorry, yellow lorry, slowly, with us. Red lorry, yellow lorry.
Excellent. Now let's work on vowel sounds. Emma, can you show us a difference between live, the verb, and live, the adjective?
Of course. I live in London. That's live with a short I sound. But this is a live concert. That's live with a long AI sound.
Perfect example. Context usually helps people understand, but correct pronunciation makes communication clearer.
Now, let's practice word stress in a dialogue. David, ask me about my schedule and I will show correct stress patterns.
Sure. Emma, what are you doing this weekend?
I'm going to visit my grandmother on Saturday, and on Sunday, I'll go to the supermarket.
Notice how Emma stressed grandmother, Saturday, Sunday, and supermarket. This helps people follow your meaning more easily.
Let's try an example with incorrect stress. I'm going to visit my grandmother On Saturday.
That sounds quite unnatural, doesn't it? The meaning is still clear, but the rhythm is off.
Exactly. Now, let's practice sentence intonation. David, ask me some yes-no questions.
Are you coming to the party tonight?
Notice how David's voice went up at the end? That's typical for yes-no questions in English.
And now a statement. You're coming to the party tonight. My voice went down at the end.
Let's practice this. Listeners, repeat this question with rising intonation. Do you like pizza? Make your voice go up at the end.
And now the statement with falling intonation. I like pizza. Let your voice go down.
Great. Now let's work on contractions. Many learners avoid contractions, but they're very important for natural-sounding English.
True. Emma, can you show us the difference between formal and natural pronunciation?
Formal. I cannot go because I do not have time. Natural. I can't go because I don't have time.
Both are correct, but contractions sound more natural in everyday conversation.
Let's practice some common contractions. Can't, don't, won't, I'm, your, we'll.
Listeners, repeat after us. I can't come because I don't have time, but you're welcome to go without me.
Excellent. Now let's address a tricky area, past tense endings. David, show us the 3 different pronunciations.
Right. After T or D sounds, we add id, wanted, needed. Can you hear that extra syllable?
After voiceless sounds like p, k, f, we add t, stopped, walked, laughed.
And after voice sounds, we add D, played, lived, called.
Don't worry if this seems complicated. With practice, it becomes automatic. Let's practice. Yesterday, I walked to the store and talked to my friend.
Listeners, try saying these past tense verbs. Worked, studied, finished, opened.
Remember, the key is listening carefully and practicing regularly. You don't need to perfect everything at once.
Absolutely. Now, let's learn some useful vocabulary related to pronunciation.
It's vocabulary time. Let's learn some useful words and phrases about pronunciation that every English learner should know.
Great idea, Emma. Let's start with the basic terms. The first word is pronunciation itself. That's how we say words correctly.
And accent. That's the way someone speaks based on their region or native language. Remember, having an accent is completely normal.
Then we have stress. That's when we make one part of a word or sentence stronger than the others, like in important.
Intonation is how our voice goes up and down when we speak. It's like the music of language.
Rhythm is the pattern of stressed and unstressed sounds. English has a special rhythm that makes it sound musical.
Now let's learn vowels and consonants. Vowels are sounds like a, e, ah. Consonants are all the other sounds.
Syllable is a unit of sound in a word. For example, water has 2 syllables, wa-ter.
Here's an important one, enunciate. This means to speak clearly and distinctly. Good pronunciation helps you enunciate well.
Articulate is similar. It means to speak clearly and express yourself well.
Now let's learn some phrases you can use when practicing pronunciation. How do you pronounce this word is very useful when you're not sure.
Can you say that more slowly, please? Is perfect when someone is speaking too fast for you to catch the pronunciation.
Did I say that correctly? Is great for checking your pronunciation with native speakers.
And could you repeat that, please, when you want to hear something again?
Here's some phrases for describing sounds. This sound is difficult for me, or I'm having trouble with this sound.
Silent letter is important to know. In English, some letters in words are not pronounced, like the B in lamb or the K in knife.
Long vowel and short vowel help describe vowel sounds, like the long E in sheep versus the short I in ship.
Voiced and voiceless sounds are technical terms but useful. Voiced sounds use your vocal cords, like
b and d. Voiceless sounds don't, like p and t.
Minimal pairs, remember these, they're pairs of words that differ by only one sound, like bit and bat.
Tongue twister is our fun phrase for those challenging sentences that help practice specific sounds.
Now let's learn some descriptive words. Clear pronunciation is easy to understand. Mumbled speech is unclear and hard to follow.
Fluent means speaking smoothly and easily. Choppy means speaking with too many pauses or unclear rhythm.
Here's a useful phrase. I need to work on my pronunciation. This shows you're actively trying to improve.
Native speaker means someone who learned English as their first language. But remember, you don't need to sound like a native speaker to communicate well.
Second language learner or English learner, that's you, and you should be proud of your efforts.
Some encouraging phrases. My pronunciation is improving every day, or I'm getting better at this sound.
Practice makes perfect is a common saying, but remember, practice makes progress, and progress is what matters.
Let's learn some words about mouth positions. Lips, tongue, teeth, roof of your mouth. These help describe how to make sounds.
Open your mouth, close your lips, put your tongue here. These are instructions you might hear in pronunciation lessons.
And don't give up. This isn't exactly vocabulary, but it's the most important phrase for any language learner.
Listeners, try using some of these words this week when you practice English or talk about your learning journey.
Now let's get interactive. We have some fun exercises for you to try right now. All right, everyone, it's time to get active. We're going to do some fun pronunciation exercises together. Are you ready?
This is my favorite part. Remember, listeners, there's no judgment here. We're all learning together, so relax and have fun with these exercises.
First, let's warm up our mouth muscles. This might sound silly, but it really helps. Let's do some mouth exercises.
Great idea. Listeners, open your mouth wide like you're yawning. Hold for 3 seconds. Now close it. Open and close.
Now let's move our lips. Make an ooh sound like in boot. Feel how your lips come together. Now make an e sound like in see. Feel how your lips spread wide.
Excellent. Now let's exercise our tongues. Stick your tongue out and move it up, down, left, right. This helps with flexibility for different English sounds.
Perfect. Now we're ready for our first sound exercise. Let's work on the th sound in think. Everyone, put your tongue lightly between your teeth.
Now blow air gently over your tongue and say, think. Don't bite your tongue. Just let it rest lightly between your teeth.
Let's practice together. Think, think, think. Can you feel the air flowing over your tongue?
Great. Now let's try some words with this sound. 3, 13, 30, Thursday, thank you.
Listeners, repeat after Emma. Thank you for thinking about this on Thursday.
Wonderful. Now let's work on the R sound, which is challenging for many learners. The key is don't let your tongue touch anything in your mouth.
Curl your tongue back slightly like you're going to make an sound, then add voice. R, r, r.
Let's practice with words red, right, really, round, run.
Now a sentence. The red car ran really fast on the right road.
Excellent work. Now let's try the L sound. This time, do touch your tongue to the roof of your mouth right behind your front teeth.
Say la, 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 and feel your tongue tapping the roof of your mouth each time.
Practice words love, like, live, learn, listen.
And a sentence? I love to learn and listen to lovely music.
Now let's combine R and L in our tongue twister challenge. Are you ready?
Remember, red, lorry, yellow, lorry. Let's start very slowly. Red, lorry, yellow, lorry.
Good. Now a little faster. Red lorry, yellow lorry.
And faster, red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry.
Don't worry if it's difficult. Even native speakers find that tongue twister challenging.
Now let's work on vowel sounds. Let's practice the difference between short and long.
Short I in bit, sit, hit. Can you feel how quick that vowel is?
Long E in beat, seat, heat. Notice how you hold the vowel sound longer.
Let's alternate. Bit, beat, sit, seat, hit, heat.
Excellent. Now let's practice word stress. I'll say a word incorrectly and Emma will say it correctly. Listeners, repeat Emma's version.
Ready? David, say important with wrong stress.
Important. That sounds wrong, doesn't it?
Important. That's correct. The stress is on the second syllable.
Let's try photograph.
Wrong way first. Photograph.
Photograph, stress on the first syllable.
Now let's practice sentence stress. I'll say a sentence, and you listeners should clap or tap when you hear the stressed words.
I'm going to the store to buy some bread.
Did you hear the stress on store and bread? Those are the most important words for meaning.
Let's try intonation practice. Listeners, make your voice go up at the end of questions and down at the end of statements.
Question. Are you ready? Voice goes up.
Statement. I am ready. Voice goes down.
Your turn. Do you like English?
Statement. I love English.
Fantastic. Now let's do a rhythm exercise. English has a special beat, like music. Let's clap it out.
Da 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 da. That's the rhythm of I went to the store today.
Clap with us. I went to the store today. The stressed words get the strong claps.
Let's try another. She's working at the office.
Excellent rhythm practice. Now let's end with a confidence builder. Everyone say this with us loudly and proudly.
My English pronunciation is improving every day.
I'm not afraid to make mistakes because mistakes help me learn.
How did that feel? Speaking with confidence is just as important as perfect pronunciation.
Remember, you can come back and practice these exercises anytime. The more you practice, the more natural these sounds will become.
Now let's talk about staying motivated on this pronunciation journey.
You know what, David? Learning pronunciation can sometimes feel overwhelming. I think our listeners need some encouragement and motivation.
Absolutely, Emma. And I want to start with the most important message. Every single person learning English has struggled with pronunciation at some point.
That's so true. Even native speakers had to learn these sounds when they were babies. You're doing something incredibly challenging as an adult, and that takes real courage.
And here's something amazing. You have advantages that babies don't have. You can understand explanations, you can think about how sounds are made, and you can practice deliberately.
Exactly. Plus, you already speak at least one language fluently, which means your brain knows how to learn language sounds.
Let me ask our listeners something. How many of you worry that people will judge your accent or pronunciation?
If you're feeling that way, please remember this. Most people are impressed that you can speak another language at all. Many native English speakers only speak one language.
And here's a secret. Native speakers make pronunciation mistakes too. They have regional accents, they mispronounce words sometimes, and they still communicate perfectly well.
The goal is not to sound like a native speaker. The goal is to communicate clearly and confidently. There's a big difference.
I want to share a story, Emma. I once met a businessman from Germany who had a strong accent, but he spoke so clearly and confidently that everyone loved talking to him.
That's a perfect example. Confidence and clarity matter more than a perfect accent. When you believe in your ability to communicate, other people believe in you too.
And here's something encouraging about pronunciation specifically. Small improvements make a big difference. You don't need to perfect every sound to see dramatic improvement in how people understand you.
That's so true. Maybe you just need to work on one or two sounds that are causing the most confusion. Focus on those, and suddenly people understand you much more easily.
Let's talk about mistakes, because I know many learners are afraid of making pronunciation mistakes.
Mistakes are not failures, they're information. Every mistake tells you something about what you need to practice more.
And here's the beautiful thing about pronunciation mistakes. They rarely prevent communication completely. People usually understand you from context.
Plus, when you make a mistake and someone corrects you gently, you're getting free pronunciation lessons. Most people are happy to help.
Let me give our listeners a mindset shift that changed everything for me when I was learning languages. Stop trying to be perfect and start trying to be understood.
That's brilliant advice. When you focus on communication instead of perfection, you'll speak more often, and speaking more often is how you improve.
And remember, improvement in pronunciation is not always linear. Some days you'll feel like you sound great. Other days you might struggle with sounds you thought you had mastered.
That's completely normal. Your mouth muscles need time to develop memory for new movements. Be patient with yourself.
Here's a practical tip for staying motivated. Keep a pronunciation journal. Write down one sound or word you practiced each day and note any improvements you notice.
Great idea. And celebrate small victories. Did you successfully order coffee with clear pronunciation? That's worth celebrating.
Also, find pronunciation practice partners. Maybe other English learners who want to practice together, or native speakers who enjoy helping learners.
And use technology to your advantage. There are apps that can track your progress and show you how you're improving over time.
Here's something I want every listener to remember. Your accent is part of your identity, and that's beautiful. Don't try to eliminate it completely. Just make sure it doesn't interfere with communication.
Exactly. Some of the most successful international speakers have accents. What makes them successful is clarity, confidence, and willingness to communicate.
Let me ask our listeners, what would happen if you spoke English with more confidence, even if your pronunciation wasn't perfect?
I bet you'd have more conversations, make more friends, have more opportunities, and enjoy learning English more.
And the more you speak with confidence, the more your pronunciation naturally improves through practice.
So here's your assignment from us. This week, focus on speaking clearly and confidently, not perfectly. See how people respond when you project confidence in your communication.
Remember, every conversation is pronunciation practice. Every time you speak English, you're improving.
And please, please, don't compare yourself to native speakers or to other learners. Compare yourself to where you were last month or last year.
You are on your own unique English journey. And progress is progress, no matter how small it seems.
Now, let's wrap up with a summary of all the amazing tips we've shared today.
Wow, Emma, we've covered so much important information today. Let's make sure our listeners remember the key points about improving their English pronunciation.
Absolutely, David. Let's start with why pronunciation matters. Remember, it's not about sounding perfect. It's about communicating clearly and building your confidence when speaking English.
That's right. Clear pronunciation helps people understand you easily, reduces misunderstandings, and makes you feel more confident in conversations.
Now, let's recap our practical tips.
Thanks for listening to Speak Now. Don't forget to subscribe for more fun and easy English podcasts.
Until next time, keep speaking, keep learning, and keep growing.